trees are cool. Well, we're in Rome, and we're on the roof of our hotel, which is where they serve breakfast. Wow, look at this view. This is really something. You can see off in the distance there one of the big buildings, or a lot of the big buildings actually. Really nice. These people have got their own little apartment over here.
Made of bronze. And during the Middle Ages, all that bronze was just black.
Okay, so this is the third and outer ring of the Colosseum. It took 10 years to build the Colosseum. The two inner rings were destroyed by an earthquake in 860 AD. This is all that survived, and only a third of it is here because 2/3 of it, they used the materials to build other things many years ago. The Colosseum itself was built in 62 AD. Here's a picture of the Colosseum as it was then, and this statue of Nero, which as you can see was almost as tall as the Colosseum. The early Romans were short people, about 4 feet 8 inches, but they loved to get in the stadium. That 50 to 70,000 people would come here, but they wanted to see all the bloodshed and this, that, and the other. So the stairs were built very steep and very tall to slow the people down, so they couldn't try to get in the stadium too fast. Here's a sign where it shows the upper level where the common people were sitting, waiting in between games. The rich people sat at the very bottom. Here's the underground where they brought animals in, and they had trap doors, and they would pop up, and prisoners would fight till the death. Here you can see a little restored portion of the floor, and then here's all the tunnels where all the animals and slaves worked, bringing people in, and gladiators came in for the fights.
Museum, you're going to see the Raphael rooms, of course, and the first one is the Constantine room. On that one, you're going to see the big fresco of Constantine killing Masentis, the Milvian witch battle.
Here, where that outer ring is the outer wall that is gone. So on this side of the Colosseum, the whole outer wall is gone. All of the holes that you see in the walls here are not from weather. All of these walls had large bronze plaques, and all through the years the metal was used for ammunition or to build other monuments or other things, and that's why you see all these holes. Okay, so the Pope consecrated this part of the building and said if you kiss the cross you would have 140 days of indulgence. So Miss State Farm.
1 year and 40 days.
Oh, 1 year and 40 days. Now we're obviously at the bottom. This is the outer wall there. This is the only area of the outer wall that still remains, so it's gone from the rest of it. All those materials were used. All the inner walls fell in an earthquake. All of this is below the floor where the gladiators and animals and prisoners came in. This is our guide, Elena. This is the side that doesn't have the outer ring. And then here you can see where the outer ring is still there, part of it. It's one of the earlier Christian basilicas, but it wasn't called a basilica. And This one dates from about 200 BC, and all we see is the columns and the part of the side wall. This area is the earliest Roman square, or the forums. Here we see in the back there the City Hall. You can see the top part with the white frames around the windows. You can see the bottom part, which is the original part of the City Hall, which dates from 70 BC. That's the gray part with the arches. And then above that is the part with the white windows, which was added on the top in 1100 AD. The Arch de Triomphe here, I forget the name of it, but call it an arch, was built in 200 AD. There are various temples and other things here that remains in between all those periods. This is where Julius Caesar was cremated, and today people still bring flowers and put here where he was cremated, which is inside the forum area where all these temples and other things were. When was he cremated?
The Ides of March of the 44 BC.
44 BC.
That area was the political area. Now we're going to visit the religious area.
So this area is the political area, and now we're moving into the religious area. This temple was built for one of the emperor's sons that died or something. The doors are original. They're made out of bronze, and they're 2,000 years old, almost 2,000 years old. This one's almost 50. This is one of few remaining Roman roads from the Republican period, so about 400 BC, and this is where the chariots would have gone. Here, all the way on the other side, you can see the political area, and then the religious area, and then we just came through the commercial area. This was the dining room of that, one of the earliest rulers, and they used to eat, and they would eat for 6 to 8 hours for their banquets, but they would eat and then throw up, and then eat and then throw up, or vomit, and that was normal. They did it in front of everybody, so they would just eat and vomit, and then eat and vomit, and eat and vomit. These are the original frescoes in this residence from 1450. This is the ruins from the imperial residence. It dates from about 90 AD, the end of the 2nd century. There's some of the original floors, the marble. This is the remains of the garden from that imperial residence. Dates from about 90 AD. We're in the imperial residence. This is Miss State Farm, but through that hole right there to her right, you can see the dome of St. Peter's. It's a beautiful square. We just had lunch. Got this fountain. Not real sure what this building is. We're fixing to go in and see.